mo ajumoke irede kijo mole mojuta kasufe odumomi o odumomi o odumomi o odumomi o meji meji lada o meji meji lada ìfẹ́ rẹ sí mi ó jìn gangan meji meji lada o meji meji lada ìfẹ́ rẹ sí mi ó jìn gangan ọ̀rẹ́ dákun ro kó tó lọ.
Hello everyone, how there are you all doing today? How have you been?
Mo ń sọ yàrá gbọ́rọ̀ lọ́ra fèsì ẹ̀sìn ò gbà ní ìwà ọ̀la ní ohun tó.
Welcome to another time called Luminary, and today we'll be talking about another interesting topic. And like I do say, I hope we have been putting into practice some of those things we've been talking about. My name is OLADUNNI, and welcome to your time, your Luminary.
Lọ́ra fèsì ẹ̀sìn ò gbà ní ìwà ọ̀la ní ohun tó ń ní ló ń wá ní. Mo fi ẹ̀yìn fò mo ríre mo ajumoke irede kijo mole mojuta kasufe odumomi o odumomi o odumomi o odumomi o meji meji lada o meji meji lada
Yeah, like I said, I hope you've been putting these things we've been talking about, the topics we've been talking about previously, into practice. We talked about stereotypes, we talked about weaknesses. I think we've learned about our physical, economic, our psychological weaknesses, and lots more. I hope you put that into practice. And how you are doing today? How was work today? And how have you been? My name is OLADUNNI. I'm working on to your time called your Luminary. Today we're going to be talking about an interesting topic that we're going to share after this break. Yeah, today's topic is an interesting one, and it's called our interests and hobbies, or hobbies and interests. Hobbies like HOBBIEX and interest INTERESTX. What do you understand by hobbies? What do you understand by interest? Let's talk about that. I've got a short music break.
Some people come together, made a plan, took a chance, agreements between one another.
Alright, like the music says, like an agreement between one another. Do you understand, or do you know sometimes that there are some things that may sound or that may feel as if they are the same, but they are not, and they differ from each other or one another sometimes. And that's why we have what we call hobbies and interests this evening, and we're going to be talking about it. And I'm sure some of us will say, what was all so special about hobby, or so special about our interest? Yeah, I understand that. Let's relax. I will talk about that after the music break.
It's forever, it's alright, and then it's not.
Welcome to Able Media. This is your time called your Luminary. You can reach us on our Facebook, Able Media, on TikTok, Able.media, on Instagram at Able.media, and on YouTube at Able_media_22.
I tell them if them no hungry, make them scatter, go their separate ways.
Yeah, what do you understand by hobbies? I'm sure most of us, we might be thinking we understand more about hobbies. Fine, it's good. And we all talked about it in some parts of our lives, maybe in our career, especially when we're in elementary schools, our college days, and even in the uni, you understand, in tertiary institutions, when we're about to write about our composition about ourselves, our families, our relatives, our friends, and all that. I'll talk about my name is so, and my hobbies are listening to music and latest news. It's just like that. I know we all know what a hobby is, but today I'm going to be defining what's an hobby in a layman's term, and that's what I call an activity done regularly in one's leisure time for pleasure. Like I said, an activity done in one's leisure time for play, what you do when you're free, when you're relaxed and just want to have play, you just want to relax your muscles, you just want to feel relieved. That's when you go about our hobbies. And what do you understand by interest? You can tell me. I hope you are all watching, and please don't forget to like and share this page, this session, so that other people can learn also. It's your time called the Luminary. Yes, good to have you here, Mom. Omatunde Makinwa, thank you. And please, let's share, let's like, let's comment and share this for others to learn and to have an interactive session. I'll be glad we can have it as an interactive section. Like I said, our topic today says hobbies and interest, or interest and hobbies. And in both ways is fine. I want to understand by interest the feeling of wanting to know or learn about something or someone. When you want to learn something or something or someone, is a feeling. It's something that triggers. It's just like a trigger. You understand? Something must trigger you for you to want to do that. That's an interest. But hobby is what we do during our leisure time. It's something we do for pleasure during our leisure time. If I may ask Omatunde, what's your hobby? I want everyone that going to join us this evening to tell us what their hobbies is, what their hobby is, or what their hobbies are, because some people have more than an hobby. So if you have here today and you're watching, please share with us what's your hobby, or what are your hobbies. I would like to hear. I would like to read that from the comment section. And one of our hobbies, we have a lot of hobbies, and I would like to section them under the field or the career. Like in the arts, we have music, we have dancing, we have singing, we have a lot of it, choreographies and all that. And under sciences, we have people that like to know about the earth, revolution, and every other thing. We have a lot of it. And even we have people that like to calculate. Yes, they like games. When it comes to calculation, some people like footballing, some people like skipping, some people like diving, some people like driving, some people like to wrestle, some people like to boxing, yeah. Why? During their leisure time, yeah, just what they do for pleasure. Some people like swimming, some people like to sing, some people like to write poems, some people like to write scripts. Yes, to write plays, to write music for people here. And some people like to talk. Some people like to watch movies. We have a lot of hobbies out there. So what are your hobbies, and what do you have interest in that you don't do during your leisure time? Don't know how to know my hobby. I think you know one of my hobbies now. If you are to tell one of my hobbies, I'm sure you should know and you should be able to identify one of my hobbies. And what do you understand by hobbies? Let me continue on that session. We are going to be having it in an episodic way. Like we're not going to hear what we know about hobbies today. For an example, we have hobbies. There's something we do during our leisure time for pleasure, and it is sometimes their skills, a skill or interest pursued as our regular occupation. It may not. You might be a medical doctor, a surgeon, and you may like to dance. You may like to sing. You may like music. You may like to act. That's your hobby. It's quite different from your career, from your goal, from your profession. But when we talk about, but it's so different from what we call interest. I want to talk about interest. What do you understand by interest? An interest is either is broader, is wider than an hobby. An hobby sometimes, an interest, it's going to be a topic. It can be something that captures your attention, but you may not do. You may not really involve yourself in it all the time, or you may not even participate, but this is one thing you want, something you might seek, something you might long for, that this thing, I like it. But hobby is what you do. Interest, sometimes you may have interest in something, but you may not know how to go about it. You may not have the resources to go about it, and that is what makes it different from hobby. Hobbies are what we do that captures our mind, things that we do that are different, that is outside our occupation.
Me and my guys, our party not the end. Conversation till dawn.
Good evening, welcome. This is your time with Luminary, and today we're talking about hobbies and interests. Like I said, please do well to tell us what your hobbies are. If you have more than one, in the comment section for us to interact, and how you have been finding it so interesting, and when you do them, how you feel when you practice or when you go about doing your hobbies. And today we're talking about hobbies and interests. Another thing we need to learn about our hobbies and interests is that it involves consistency and regularity. How often do you practice your hobby? We practice our hobbies consistently and regularly. Most times during any leisure time we have, we practice it. Yeah, it's something we do that we practice consistently, and we require commitment. We want to improve when it comes to our hobbies. Like someone that likes footballing, sometimes you may even dedicate hours to learn about it more, because it's what interests you, it's what relaxes your muscle, that makes you feel emotionally good, that makes you psychologically okay, yes, balanced. But interest, you may not even practice, you may not even know much about it, but you still have interest in that. Like for example, maybe during an interview or documentaries, you are interested in dancing, and you happen to be listening or to be watching a documentary about choreography. You may sit and listen to it and gain one or two things, but you may not even practice. You may not do it during your leisure time. It's just an interest, that's something that catches your attention, but you may not practice.
Anger razor go slash the wheel the two. To hold the person back, you go stay back to make sure. To hold the person down, you.
Yeah, we have some people here. Okay, gonna put or draw your me. It's always a nice time with the Luminary. Thank you very much. How have you been today? And we have Oma to the marking what sports in general. Okay, your hobby is sports. Okay, anything that involves sports, you're always doing it during your leisure time. But there must be something that's one part of the sports, a field that you have to stream. That's what you like to do. Maybe footballing, maybe skiing, yes, maybe skating, yeah, maybe diving, maybe sprinting, you understand, jumping and all that. So you must have something. I know you might be good at all, you may have hobbies like you want to do all, but there must be one that is so particular about it. Let us know. Like he said also that my hobbies are playing video games, football, listening to music, love to travel. Yeah, you have people that have more than an hobby, and it's always interesting. Or you like to travel, and music, I think they go along, and don't forget that hobbies and interests complements one each other. They complement each other.
Everybody don't sit around for Market Square. At the good there, you hear, and my matter is for air. Plenty.
If I may ask you, what's your hobby and what are your interests? What do you have interest in on what today? I want to hear from you. What are your interests, but something you don't do? I know you do sports, you listen to music constantly, consistently, but what are the things you do during your leisure time, or what are those things that interest you but you have not been practicing? Let's hear from you.
I go get justice or there. Everything green for me, for you. The people who start the fire, not them put custom. Now why for those people who I just returned from market?
Yeah, for an example, let me use myself as an example. I love to listen to music, cool music. It resets my brain, it makes me feel relieved. And most times, I love to watch documentaries. I love to listen to news. I sit and listen to news. I write down things. I take notes of things. I write. I read. I have interest in music, but I've not been working on how to sing more than I do. I sing, but it's not all that perfect. So that's my interest, but I don't do that regularly. I don't do that during my leisure time, like to sing and to write down songs.
Ìjàkadì lọ́mú níṣẹ́, kárórì ó bọ́pọ̀ ṣiṣẹ́, bí n bá fà á wọ́n ló lè, bí n bá túlẹ̀ wọ́n ló rọ̀, bí n dúró wọ́n máa mèrè.
Welcome. I hope you're getting what I'm trying to say, and I hope we are learning, and I hope we are not trying to differentiate what hobbies are and what interests have. Sometimes our hobbies are things we can do as an individual. While interest sometimes requires a team, it requires more than one person to be able to achieve it. I need to pursue it. Just like someone that likes singing, you can start doing that. Or your own hobbies, singing, you find yourself doing it. But when it comes to maybe it's your interest, maybe you need to go further to learn and to work with a thing as a team to achieve that.
What I
mean by that is that sometimes our hobbies are things we do conveniently without people not even teaching us. Sometimes we find yourself doing it just a hobby. Even some of us, we don't even know that those are our hobbies until people tell us, do you know you have been, this is what we do most times? And I say, wow, I don't even know I'm doing that. But interest requires you. It takes some sweat, sometimes sweat. It takes some time, it takes some things from you, so that even you know this is what you have interest in, because it's going to take time, it's going to take so much of your time, it's going to take so much of your energy, it's going to take you to sit with it and learn it keenly. Yeah, sometimes we are not even emotionally attracted to our interest, but when it comes to hobbies, we are emotionally attracted to it. Even sometimes, that is why we have couples, or sometimes when it comes to hobby or their hobbies, and especially newly wedded couples, they tend to have contrast at home. I would like to have arguments just because of hobbies, and when we talk about it, like what's because of this argument all about? You hear the lady saying just because the husband has been so much engrossed with watching football, playing video games. That's why it's not given attention. And when it comes to the lady, also when they have the husband, what's going on, what's happening in the home, and the husband tells that this lady is always engrossed with movies. Even sometimes she forgets to cook. That's just it. That's your hobby. Something that you're emotionally drawn to. Sometimes it may want to even take the place of your loved ones. Sometimes. Interest sometimes may not catch your attention, may not take so much of attention to your emotions like hobbies. Interest is what you like. You can even involve your partner. Like, this is what I want to do this, and you do it together. You understand? It's not something that takes away that emotions from you and don't make you to see people around you. When you're carried with your hobbies, that's why you have kids. Sometimes when they're playing video games and Coco Melon, they're always, when they're playing all those their cartoons, they're always engrossed with it. And even when you're talking to them, they don't tend to listen. And when you ask them to go and do other things, they tend to cry. That's it. But interest, it's okay. They have interest in this thing. You still have to put them through it. They're not emotionally attached to it. For an example, like Omotunde said, he said he loves football and sports in general. And do you know people will tend to know that you're someone that loves football? People will tend to attach that to you. Then if your hobby is football, your interest is football, you want to learn more about footballing. People may not know you, people may not identify you with that. It may not be one of your identity. People may not even know that you have interest in footballing. But when it is your hobby, something you do that people see, it cannot be erased out of you. It's part of you. It's part of your composition. It's part of what defines you as an individual. I want us all to invest so much in our hobbies and our interests, but let's do things that will make us happy. Let's do things that will make us feel relieved, relaxed.
She talk, say time no day aside, yo. Say for her work, they quick, they dark, yo. And I go love her till I die, go. But our hearts don't turn to stone.
Sometimes our hobbies influenced our career, our goals. It's influenced our skills. It's influenced our lifestyles, our choices, and how we do things in our socials, in our circles, in our families, wherever we get to. People it tries to influence us. Like, yeah, this is Odvayo, this is Oman, the guy that loves footballing. You understand that his hobby, he likes footballing. Anything about football, just ask him. Yeah, people we are influenced. That speaks even louder than who we are. Sometimes it tells people about us than our interests. Your interests, people may not know you. People may not even identify you with your interests. People may not even, it may not even have an impact in your life that people will be able to see and be able to talk about.
But no, we create the world.
Don't forget it's your time with your Luminary, and we're talking about hobbies and interests this evening. Please, I would like you to have any other comments aside the one I've read here. Please do well to please give to me so that I can acknowledge it.
My method I show everybody, they talk, say I to do. They like to save yourself.
And hobbies are what we like to do during our leisure time. It's something we like to do every moment, every given moment that we are not doing nothing. This is what we like to do. It doesn't matter whether we are fixed or it doesn't matter when we are tired. We like to do them. About interest, it may even take weeks, it takes moments, a long time before we practice it. But hobbies is what we do. It's what we do constantly. We keep repeating it. Yeah.
But no, we create the world.
example, do you know some resumes writes hobbies? Yes, you have to include your hobbies because sometimes it's affected to the work. It's have impact, it's have relevance to the professional skills, and it's have relevance to your resume to show that this is the kind of person you are. You're diverse, you're an engineer, and you can also sing, you understand, and lots more. But why interest sometimes is also mentioned in our resume, but it is less impactful, and unless we are asked to talk about what are your other interests, maybe during an interview and all that, after writing it in our resume that these are my interests. But when your hobby, we already know that this thing is going to influence you, it's going to bring out this other aspect you are it's something you can do, it's something you can still perform, it's somewhere you can still adjust, it's somewhere you can still manage, even though you don't have a full knowledge, a professional skill about that thing, but something you can still carry out to an extent. Do you have any other comments aside the one I've read so that I can attend to them? Please let me know. Alright, we have a Jonathan Yokoyemi. I am someone who loves to do many things and I do many things at a time. How can I recognize my hobby from the so many things I love to do? Alright, thank you very much. Like we have here, like I said earlier, I said hobbies. Some people have more than a hobby, but I want to tell you that there are one that you're going to be good at. Master of all is what? Jack of all is master to none. That's just it. You can do things or everything at the same time. I think you can do all and you are good at. You know, I know some people are they are multi, yes. When it comes to multitasking, they do things. They are diverse. They have diverse skills. But sometimes, do you know you have that hobby that you do at any given period of time? At any given time, you are less free. You are less busy. At any given time, you don't have anything doing. That is what you do. Compared to your interest, that okay, can you do this for me or not today? I say okay. I say it's something you have interest in. You can do that. But just like somebody asks you, oh ma today, please can you give me the names of all Arsenal footballers? You understand? I'm sure it will be easier for you. But when it comes to maybe something is your interest, maybe photography. I know you have an interest in photography. But okay, someone tells you, oh ma, please can you do for me tomorrow a short summary or things to put in place when you want to set a studio. You didn't know it may take you time, but when it comes to the footballing, that asks you to talk about or footballing names of all the footballers is something that you may even give for fun instantly at that moment. You don't need to struggle with it. You don't need to take time. It doesn't take moments. You do it instantly sometimes because it's what you do. It's during your time.
Smoking gin and eating Coogee. These days I just lose the count. The universe.
Shout out to everyone in the studio with me this evening. Shout out to the engineer Omotunde. Shout out to John Yokoyemi. Shout out to Baoka, Mr. Olushola Onitimi Ayodele. And shout out to the CEO of Media, that's the person of Mr. Bright Adelega. Thank you for this great opportunity. I would like to know what your hobbies are if you're listening to us or you're watching us. Yeah, how can you know? How do you want to differentiate hobbies and interests? I think I don't want us to talk about that today, but let me just share one of the tips of how to differentiate between your hobbies and interests. The first one is you have to select the relevant hobbies. You have to select the ones that you do constantly, the ones that you that for an example, Omatode said he likes sports in general, he loves music, he likes traveling and all that. But there's one you do constantly, you do almost, even some of us who do it daily, you do it at any given time. Like I said earlier, you have to select those ones that obviously are relevant, ones that are relevant to your job or industry or which you are applying, or the ones that show your passion, something you have passion for. The ones you do all the time, the ones you don't stress yourself, is the ones you just find yourself doing it, even sometimes that you don't even want to do them. You already find yourself to be part of it already.
It's time for the new. The old rule must go.
Yeah, like I said, we continue. How can you differentiate between your interest and your hobby? Interest are things you like to do. You have interest when you eat, it catches your attention. But hobbies are what you do daily. Why interest? You may not even practice it, but something that catches your attention, something that draws your attention. Hobbies takes your emotion. Yeah, you do this with emotions. It takes away. It fills in the gap of our loved ones sometimes. But interest cannot take. It cannot. It can never take a place of our loved one.
Mo jẹ́ ọmọdé tó mọ̀wọ́ ẹ̀, mo ń bá àgbà jẹun, bẹ́ẹ̀ bá rí mi nígboro, bẹ́ẹ̀ bá mọ̀ kí mi.
Another difference between hobbies and interests is we have to be specific. I know you have a lot of hobbies, but the moment you start mentioning a lot and you're not explicit, I'm sure sometimes you may not even know the one you want. But that's why you have to list out your hobbies and try to check, put it in a rough check or a book or an attendance. Like, you have to mark it daily. I have to mark this daily. This is what I do. Try to check yourself. How many times in a week, or how many times have I done this thing? Maybe in a week, or daily, or monthly. Then you'll be able to know which are your interests are and your hobbies are.
Ọ̀rọ̀ tó wà nílẹ̀, ọ̀rọ̀ gbogbo wa ní aláwọ̀ ara.
Yeah, I understand the fact that sometimes our hobbies require so much attention that you may not have the opportunity to do them because you have to work and all that. But amidst that, even while still having that, there are some hobbies that you do. It doesn't matter how tight, it doesn't matter how busy your schedule, you still fix it in and try to give yourself that time to do them, even while at office sometimes. But I know sometimes it's going to be a little time, but you still do them. And some you may not even remember, you may not even put them in budgets or in your agenda for months, for weeks. But interest, that's what we call interest. But when it comes to your hobbies, something like at any given time, like I am going out tomorrow, I'm going to be free tomorrow, I must do this thing. Don't forget, it's your time with your Luminary and talking about hobbies and interests. What are your hobbies? What do you like doing? And what do you think? What are your hobbies? I want us to tell us in the comment section. And I want us to understand that our hobbies sometimes helps us psychologically, emotionally, and all that. And this is where we're going to end the topic for today. We like to draw the curtain for today. Then we continue from where we stop next time. I'm your Luminary, OLADUNNI. Don't forget to know. Try to write down what your hobbies are today and differentiate between your hobbies and your interests. You continue from there next time. Do have a lovely time. Bye.